Something was standing outside their cabin at 3 in the morning. No footprints in the snow leading up to it. No footprints leading away. Just a figure, standing completely still, staring at the window. And when the father finally worked up the courage to shine a flashlight at it, it didn't run. It didn't move. It just tilted its head, slowly, like it was curious. If you think that's terrifying, wait until you hear what happened next, because that's just how tonight's first story begins. Stay with me. Welcome back to True Scare Tales. If you're new here, this channel is dedicated to real stories. The kind that don't get reported on the news. The kind that people whisper about years later because they still can't explain what happened. Tonight we have 3 of them. 3 families. 3 locations. 3 encounters that changed everything. Before we get into it, if you enjoy this kind of content, hit that like button right now and subscribe so you never miss a story. It takes 2 seconds and it means everything to this channel. Alright, let's go! Our first story comes from a man named Ray, who submitted his account to a backcountry hiking forum in 2019. Ray and his wife Lisa had been living off-grid in rural Montana for about 3 years. Solar power, well water, a garden, the whole thing. They loved it. Their nearest neighbor was 11 miles away. They had a dog named Hatch, a big shepherd mix, and according to Ray, that dog had never once shown fear of anything. Coyotes, elk, thunderstorms, nothing fazed him. That detail matters. Remember it. The incident started in late November. Ray noticed that Hatch had stopped going near the tree line on the north side of their property. The dog would walk right up to an invisible boundary, about 30 feet from the trees, and just stop. Hackles up. Low growl. Wouldn't go further for anything. Ray chalked it up to maybe a mountain lion denning nearby. But then the sound started. At night, somewhere deep in those northern trees, something would make a sound that Ray describes as rhythmic. Not quite a knock. Not quite a voice. He says the closest thing he can compare it to is someone tapping the inside of a hollow log in a slow, deliberate pattern. 3 taps. Pause. 3 taps. Pause. Every night for 2 weeks. Then one night it stopped. And Ray, figuring whatever it was had moved on, let his guard down. That was the night he saw it. He'd gotten up around 3 in the morning to get some water, looked out the kitchen window out of habit, and there it was, standing at the tree line. Tall, he estimated 7 feet at least, but thin. Wrong proportions. Arms too long. Head too large. And it was facing the cabin directly. He stood there frozen for what he says felt like 10 minutes, but was probably 30 seconds. Then he slowly backed away from the window, woke Lisa, and they sat in their bedroom with a rifle until sunrise. When morning came and Ray went outside, he checked the snow. There were no tracks. Not one. Whatever that thing was, it had been standing there, in 1.5 feet of Montana snow, and left no trace. Ray and Lisa sold the property 4 months later. He wrote in his post, and I'm quoting this directly, he said, "I don't need an explanation. I just need to never see that again." Our second story takes us to the Ozarks. A woman named Carla had been living alone on a remote piece of land in southern Missouri since 2017. She was an artist, intentionally isolated, and by her own account, completely at peace with being alone. She wasn't afraid of the woods. She wasn't afraid of the dark. She'd been out there for years without a single incident. Until the summer of 2020. It started with gifts. That's the word she used, gifts. Small things left on her porch overnight. A bundle of wildflowers, a smooth river stone, a perfect line of acorns arranged from largest to smallest. At first she thought it was someone from a nearby town playing a prank. But the nearest town was 20 miles away, and nobody knew exactly where her property was. She started leaving her trail camera pointed at the porch. Checked the footage every morning. For 3 weeks, nothing. The camera never triggered. But the gifts kept appearing. Whatever was leaving them either knew where the camera was and avoided its range, or it moved in a way that didn't break the motion sensor. Either option is deeply unsettling. Then in August, the gifts stopped, and something else started. Carla began finding the gifts destroyed. The same kinds of objects, flowers, stones, small natural arrangements, but now they were crushed, smashed into the porch boards, like something had come back to them and expressed something. Anger maybe, or frustration. Carla started sleeping with her doors barricaded. She says the worst part wasn't the destruction. The worst part was that it felt personal. It felt like communication, like something had been trying to reach her. She hadn't responded the way it wanted, and now the dynamic had shifted. She left in September. She told the story once on a private forum, and then deleted her account. A mutual contact forwarded it to True Scare Tales with her permission, on the condition that her last name never be used. Our third story is the one that genuinely keeps me up at night. This one comes from a family, a father, mother, and their 2 teenage sons, who spent 8 months living off-grid in the Pacific Northwest as part of a documented homesteading project. The father, who goes by the name Thomas online, kept a detailed video journal throughout the project. Most of the footage is exactly what you'd expect: building, farming, cooking, family moments. But there are 6 clips, filmed between month 5 and month 7, that Thomas uploaded to a now-deleted YouTube channel before taking them down within 48 hours. People who watched those clips before they were deleted described them consistently. Footage of the tree line behind the property at dusk. In the first clip, nothing unusual, just trees, fading light, the ambient sounds of the forest. But if you watch the shadows at the far right edge of the frame very carefully, there's a shape that doesn't move the way shadows move. In the second clip, filmed 3 days later, the shape is closer. In each subsequent clip, it's closer. Never visible in full. Always partially obscured. Always at the edge of the light. In the 5th clip, one of the teenage sons is on camera, pointing at something off to the left and saying calmly, which is somehow worse than if he'd been screaming, "Dad, it's back!" And I think it brought something with it. The 6th and final clip is 40 seconds of Thomas standing on the porch at night, flashlight pointed into the dark. He doesn't say anything. He just stands there. And then, from somewhere in the black beyond the flashlight's range, there is a sound. A long, low sound. Not an animal. Not the wind. Something that rises and falls in a way that feels almost like language. Thomas holds the light steady. And then the clip ends. He has never publicly explained why he deleted the videos. In a single reply to a comment before he wiped the channel, he wrote only this: "We came home." That's all I'll say. We came home and we don't go back. 3 families. 3 places that most people will never visit, never drive past, never even know exist. And 3 encounters that none of them have been able to explain, forget, or fully recover from. The woods are old. Older than we are. Older than our maps and our property lines and our little off-grid cabins. And sometimes, out there in the silence that we mistake for emptiness, something notices us right back. If one of these stories got under your skin, drop a comment below telling me which one hit hardest. I read every single comment, and it genuinely helps me figure out what to bring you next. And if you know someone who loves a good scare, share this video with them right now. Send it to that one friend who thinks they've heard every horror story out there. Trust me, they haven't heard these. Until next time, keep the lights on. This is True Scare Tales, and I'll see you in the dark.